A man in a grocery store notices a woman with a 3-year-old girl in her cart. As they pass the cookie section, the little girl screams for cookies. The mother says, "Now, Missy, we only have a few more aisles to go. Don't throw a fit. It won't be long." In the candy aisle, the little girl whines for candy. She takes one and puts it into the mother's cart, but the mother calmly puts it back on the shelf and says, "Missy, don't cry. 2 more aisles and we'll be checking out." When they get to the checkout counter, the little girl howls for gum. She once again grabs one and places it in the cart, and once again, her mother places it back on the shelf. The mother says reassuringly, "Missy, we'll be done in 5 minutes. Then you can go home and have a bottle and a nice snooze." The man sees all of this and is absolutely stunned at the mother's incredible patience with her screaming child. After what seems like ages, the mother finally checks out. She goes to her car and starts packing everything into the trunk, but then the man runs out and stops the woman to compliment her. "I couldn't help but notice how patient you were with little Missy," he says. "She was very annoying, but you acted perfectly." The mother then says with a smile, "My little girl's name is Francine. Missy is my name." A policeman pulls a farmer over for speeding and proceeds to write him a ticket. The farmer notices some flies buzzing around, annoying the officer. The policeman is shooing flies more than he's writing. The farmer says, "I see you're being bothered by those circle flies." The policeman says, "If that's what you call them, yes, they are somewhat annoying." The farmer says, "Yeah, we call them that because we see them circling around the rear ends of horses." The policeman says, Did you just call me a horse's rear?" The farmer says, "Oh no, sir, officer. I have way too much respect for those who serve in law enforcement to ever say such a thing." The policeman says, "Well, that's a good thing then." The farmer adds, "But it sure is hard to fool those circle flies." Dad Shark is teaching his son to hunt humans, Dad. "So when you see a human, you menacingly circle around him 6 to 7 times, then you go for the kill." "Son, why not just circle once and go for it, Dad? He will still be full of crap by then." Jack goes to his buddy Bob and says, "I'm sleeping with the priest's wife. Can you hold him in church for an hour after Mass for me?" The friend doesn't like it, but being a buddy, he agrees. After Mass, Bob starts talking to the priest, asking him all sorts of stupid questions just to keep him occupied. Finally, the priest gets annoyed and asks him what he's really up to. Bob, feeling guilty, finally confesses to the priest, "My friend is sleeping with your wife right now, so he asked me to keep you occupied." The priest smiles, puts a brotherly hand on Bob's shoulder and says, "You better hurry home now. My wife died a year ago." A young boy says to his father, "Dad, our math teacher is asking to see you." "What happened?" The father asks. "Well, she asked me, 'How much is 7 times 9? I answered 63. Then she asked, 'And 9 times 7? So I asked, 'What's the difference?'" "Indeed? What is the difference?" asked the father. "Oh, sure, I'll go." The next day, the boy comes home from school and says, "Dad, have you gone by the school?" "Not yet." "Well, when you do, come and see the gym teacher also." "Why?" asked the father. "Well, we had a gym class today, and he asked me to raise my left arm. I did. Then my right arm, I also raised it. Then he asked me to lift my right leg, so I did. Now," he says, "lift your left leg." So I asked, "Well, what am I supposed to stand on?" "Exactly," says the father. "All right, I'll come." The next day, the boy asks his father, "Did you go to the school?" "No, not yet." "Don't bother, I got expelled." Surprised, the father asks, "Why did you get expelled?" "Well, they summoned me to the principal's office, and sitting there were the math teacher, the gym teacher, and the art teacher." "The was the art teacher doing there?" asked the father. "That's what I said." 2 lawyers walk into a restaurant, sit down at a table, order a coffee, and pull out sandwiches from their suitcases. An angry waitress approaches them, exclaiming, "Excuse me, you can't eat your own food here." The lawyers look at her, then at each other, and exchange the sandwiches. To the irritation of the judge, a man was trying to be excused jury service. "Tell me," rapped the judge, "is there any good reason why you cannot serve as a juror in this trial?" The man replied, "I don't want to be away from my job that long." "Can't they do without you at work?" demanded the judge. "Yes," admitted the juror, "but I don't want them to realize it."